persistence is probably the biggest key element in every MMO. Community is probably the #1 form of persistence. The reason that people play a lot of these games is, of course, the gameplay has to be there first, but what keeps them coming back is their friends, the sense of community, the getting to know people over the years. And in fact, Fanfare, you see a lot of that. Inside the games, I see persistence taking form in different ways. So in PlanetSide 2, we plan on doing territorial control. Long term, we plan on doing things like player-owned and generated bases, and a much more elaborate structure of player-generated assets.
Free to play, a fad, or here to stay?
Here to stay for sure. And in fact, I think you're beginning to see, variations on free to play, which I find very interesting. And I think it's a great trend. And people used to associate free to play with low quality, and they don't anymore. They're starting to see, hey, this really is a good business model.
Were you surprised at the accolades that were given to Payday the Heist?
I was not surprised at all. I mean, that game is amazing. It turns the entire experience around. Suddenly you are the bank robber and you're defending yourself against these awesome, cops coming in and trying to rush you, and you're taking hostages. It's like, it's like playing the movie Heat. It's amazing. And so no, I'm not surprised. When we saw that game, it took about 2 seconds to say, heck yes, let's publish that. We will be updating Vanguard. I heard the players loud and clear. We talked about how with a subscription for DCUO that we were going to be giving content to the players, and the Vanguard players wrote in and said, hey, we want some updates too. And Vanguard's one of our smaller games. We've made the decision internally that we're going to update it. In our current generation of fantasy games, we've got housing and things like that. In our next generation of games, though, we want to go much deeper. We want players to be able to build things that last, that everybody can be a part of and see. One of our beliefs is that you have to experiment in order to innovate. We're not afraid to try things. So we were the first to have a 3D MMO. There was Ultima Online, but then we came out with a 3D MMO. We were the first with MMO FPS with PlanetSide. Innovation is it's a core part of who we are. So in order for us to go to where we're going with our next generation of MMOs, we had to think about where we think this is going to be in 5 years, not 2 years, 5 years, because people play these games for so long. We think one of the key areas that we intend to stake a lot of our territory out is in sandboxes. We believe very strongly in emergent gameplay where players can giving them the tools and the ability to within the game to interact in ways that we don't necessarily expect or plan for from day one. And so that's, for us, innovation is going there. A good example of this is Minecraft. I think it's one of the most brilliant things to come along in maybe the last 20 years of games. The great thing about our company is the depth of talent. We've got a lot of really talented people working on the engine team. They're all John Carmacks. They've all got their different areas. One thing that makes our stuff different is it's not just about the graphics, it's also about the depth of gameplay, which means that we need to be able to get great tools for the designers, great seamless worlds, great sound, great imagery. So it's a team effort.